Welcome to the Llama Podcast. This is Ashley with the members Luna, Areli, and Alicia. This is our spooky episode. Enjoy.
Today we're going to be talking about horror and ghosts. So, do you guys think ghosts are real?
My parents do. My entire family does. I refuse to believe in ghosts because I'll be terrified, but my entire family does.
Why do they believe in ghosts?
They say that one of the apartments my uncles live in is haunted because they all see like three different people in the house.
Do you think it has something to do with the fact that you're Mexican? Because as a Mexican, I feel like a lot of my family believes in ghosts and like brujeria, which is like witchcraft. So I don't know. Do you think it has something to do with like our culture?
Yeah, probably. Have you? Yeah, probably. We're very into religion.
Well, I'm Polish, and I don't believe in ghosts. My family doesn't believe in ghosts either. But I remember my grandma, telling me stories or trying to scare me. She'd be like, if you don't pray, the devil's gonna come after you or something, or you're going to hell. So not ghosts, but we do believe in the supernatural.
I feel like my family does, especially my dad's side, because I've heard so many stories about how there's like a lot of witchcraft back in like his hometown in Mexico. And I've also had like my grandmas tell me stories. So like my mom's mom, when she comes over, she tells me stories about how she like felt something touch her leg when she was younger while she was sleeping, and like she heard a bunch of stuff, and like she saw like shadows or figures moving.
I also have a similar case as Areli. In Filipino mythology, my mom believed in the aswang, which is like she was like a woman who splits in half and then flies around and takes pregnant people's babies. And I got scared with that when I was a child, and I truly believed it. But right now, I don't feel like it's real.
I have multiple ghost stories for my family. I refuse to believe in them just because I'll be terrified if I do. But in my grandma in Mexico, they said that her house was haunted at some point because they constantly saw a doll, but no one had that doll. There was just like a doll that would randomly pop up, and they told the story while we were there, and I was terrified going down the stairs for a while and being alone, because in one section it's just complete darkness in her house when it's dark out, so it's terrifying. And then also my grandma, I don't know what she did, but she learned something about ghosts and how to expel them. I don't know what she does, but they always call her to clean a house or clean a person.
In my opinion, I like hearing these stories because I feel like it's part of our culture, and it's just really interesting to me. Like you say, you refuse to believe in them because you'd be scared, but I like to believe in them because I feel like it's just so interesting to me, and it makes me want to like learn more and like figure out if it's actually real. Like Ashley was talking about something about her culture. In our culture, La Llorona is a big like myth and like story, and it's basically this lady who like had 2 children, and she found out that her husband was cheating on her, so she drowned her 2 kids in a lake in Mexico. And then when she realized what she did, she just started crying for them and trying to like get them back, but they had already passed away.
She drowned her kids?
You didn't know that?
I thought she lost them in a river. They drowned.
She drowned them.
I didn't know that.
She drowned them because she found her husband cheating.
Oh.
But yeah, so then that's why they all say that they can hear her like her cries at night because she tries to find her kids.
So I'd agree with you. I mean, I don't believe in it, but I think it's nice to like keep traditions or like tell your kids about stories. But on the other hand, I know my neighbors, they're like typical American kind of family. The older daughter would tell stories to her younger brother, and to this day he's still like screams and yells, and he'd like frequently wet the bed, and it was just horrible.
I hate ghost stories, but I really like the idea of ghosts. There's a difference, and that's because I really love Day of the Dead, and I like the idea that they come back for like days or sometimes just to see how everyone's doing. I like that because it brings me comfort. But I hate ghost stories because they're scary.
So you like good, like ghosts and positive ones?
Yeah.
I like good ghosts, but I also like hearing about the bad ghosts. Like, don't come into my house, but I like hearing about it. Have you guys ever experienced any like activity like that with like ghosts?
No, I have never experienced anything like that, but my parents say that, oh yeah, people that see ghosts are just, they can see ghosts because God thinks that they would be able to handle that, and I find it both weird and funny, and yeah.
I also haven't really experienced any strange things, but I remember as a kid I was like scared of going to the basement or like being alone because I was afraid there'd be something or someone there. I remember playing like Charlie, but it never worked for us.
I was afraid of the basement.
I don't believe in ghosts, but like I feel like ghost stories are something to like to have fun for like childhood. Like it's just something to make up. Yeah.
Luna was talking about how her parents said that sometimes like they believe that God gives the power to see ghosts to certain people. I kind of believe in that too, because once I saw this TikTok and it was this girl and she went to this nail salon and this lady sat next to her and she like has this ability to like see things that not like everybody can see. So this lady sat next to her and I think it was her daughter who had passed away. And the girl obviously didn't know that because she didn't know this lady. And then she like saw the figure of her daughter and the daughter told her to tell her mother that she missed her. So that's what she did. And she told the lady, oh, your daughter said she misses you. And then the lady started crying because her daughter had just passed away a couple months ago. And I don't know, I just thought it was really like it's too much to be a coincidence. So I feel like some people might have the actual ability to see things that we don't see or feel things or like feel certain presences.
My parents told me that because I think they told it in more of the aspect of people can't see ghosts because they would honestly go insane or they would just have a heart attack if they did. So that's why those specific people can't see them. And I find that hilarious and also very happy that I can't see them. And I don't want to. I don't want to believe.
That reminds me. That's exactly the reason that my parents say like I can't see God, because I know there's like even though you can't see Him, you're supposed to believe in Him, and that's like the reasoning why I can't see Him.
Yeah, I agree with Alicia that you can't see God. But like in my experience, me and my family visited my dad's friend or whatever visited my dad's friend, and then all of us went there, and then they suddenly acted like the God spirit went inside his body and then like went insane, like he had a seizure and whatever. And then my dad actually believed he was Santo Niño, which is the Filipino, I don't know, religious figure. And then he was like bringing us to him, and I'm like, what is this? This is not real. And like, why did we visit his house? And then he was like, be quiet and just like listen to him. And I'm like, okay. But we didn't believe it in the end, but I don't know why he pretended, or maybe he did actually become the spirit. I don't know.
That's interesting.
I don't want to get too off topic, but I remember this story where my uncle got like really sick and he started like coughing up blood and going to the hospital, and he said he like had a vision or something, and he like saw like an empty field with the cross, obviously alluding to like Christianity. And then my family's like, oh, that's proof that it's real or something like that. And I don't want to disagree with that, but at the same time, it's like kind of your mind. I feel like if he was a different religion, he would have seen like a different vision, you know? Going back to ghosts, Aurelie said she likes ghosts and like even the scary ones. I think that has to do with like your physiology, how like it increases your dopamine levels when you're like aroused or like afraid. So maybe that's why you like ghosts. It like gives you that excitement.
Yeah, I agree with Alicia that it makes you feel excited, but it could also be a way to cope with like how you die after death. You know, like if you know that we're gonna be ghosts, like at least we're gonna be here in the physical world. Like it's something to like give comfort after you die. Like I feel like.
Really, I have a question. Why do you like to believe in ghosts? Like apart from, because it's like tradition.
I think a big part of it is because, like, so I'm religious and I'm Catholic and I believe in God. And obviously we can't see God, but we believe in God. So I feel like if we believe in God and that He's out there, like, we don't know what else is out there in the world. Like, obviously when we like pass away, our souls have to go somewhere. And a lot of those souls can be good, but a lot of them can be bad. So I feel like just believing in ghosts is just like very intriguing to me, and it's something that I want to learn more about, but I also don't want to physically learn about because I've heard about spirits attaching themselves onto people and stuff like that.
I have a question. Would you want to be a ghost?
I don't know. I feel like maybe, but I feel like it would also be sad. Like if I was a ghost, like yeah, I'd like love to watch after my family and like see how they're doing, see how they're coping, and like just seeing them like succeed in life. But I feel like it would also get very lonely after a while. Like you're just walking around a world like full of everything that you left behind, but you're not there anymore and you can't make any physical contact. Like you won't be able to do the things you love, communicate with the people you love or anything.
I was thinking the total opposite. I thought it would be boring. And I think it also depends on what time I die, because if I die young, then yeah, I want to be a ghost just to make sure my family's okay. But if I die old, I don't particularly care if I'm a ghost or not.
Speaking about like the afterlife and everything, what do you guys think happens in the afterlife? Alicia?
Well, I'm Catholic, so I obviously believe in like a heaven. But at the same time, I feel like I'm not very religious. I feel like it's more up to a person's interpretation. So personally, I believe it's like just a place where you're happy, you know, eternally. I wouldn't say there's like anything specific that would like make you happy. I think you just feel that happiness kind of.
I'm also Catholic and I do believe in heaven and the hell, but like you have to be like scientifically like be sure. Like I think sometimes I think that nothing will happen. Like you're just gonna die, but I don't know what's gonna happen.
I feel like that's one of my like biggest fears, like just dying and it just being empty. Like I've thought about like the afterlife so much and like what happens, and I have like different theories. Obviously I'm Catholic, so I believe in heaven and hell, and I would love like when that time does come to go to heaven and like be with God and like look after my family. But I don't know, just the fear of the possibility of it just being like empty and like just black, like you're just gone, like that's so scary to me.
But if it's empty,
You
you're
wouldn't
like not
realize.
there.
Yeah, if you like you just die and then there's nothing, but you also be nothing. So
It's like before you were born,
or
kind of.
or are you thinking of it like you're just trapped in nothing. Oh, I thought of it like you just stop existing. Like you're asleep. You know how you're asleep, you never can tell what's happening unless you're dreaming? I thought of it just that, but forever. Like you're no longer there.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like that too, like just nothing, but like, I don't know, like we have souls, so like our souls have to go somewhere. Like I feel like when you die, like it's like your physical body dies, but your spirit has to go somewhere.
I have a question for everyone. Do you guys believe in reincarnation and stuff like that, like past lives?
I wouldn't believe in that just because it's not my religion. But I have read about it a little. I think it's really interesting.
It sounds nice. It sounds nice, but like, would it be you though? Because isn't the whole idea of reincarnation is that you're no longer yourself, but like the same soul, but a new person. So you wouldn't necessarily be yourself.
Yeah, but it would be your soul, I believe. Like, it would be like the same, different body, but same soul, you know?
I agree with Ashley. I've heard of reincarnation stories where someone remembers something from their past life, and I've heard a lot about that, and it's way too accurate. Like, back in another episode, I talked about how this kid remembered his past life because he had a scar, and that was like a scar where he had passed away from in his past life. And he had a dream about this specific place, and they went to go visit the place with some police officers, and that was where there was a dead body, and there was an axe to his head, which was the exact same like scar and size that was on the kid's like forehead. So I feel like that's way too much of a coincidence, because he was like 6 years old, 5 years old. How is this kid gonna know where a dead body is?
Well, would there be a point like you don't reincarnate again? Because like you said that he had a scar from his past life, right? As like a birthmark. But like, if he continued to die and come back, and with the new, would the scar change, or would he just be collecting more and more scars?
I feel like it'd just be like you going into a newer body or a newer life. Like you leave behind it, but like your most recent life or like things that made the most impact on you stay with you.
I feel like that kid was like a glitch in a system. That was probably what happened. And I also heard that story, and when I read it, I was like so, like, I felt it was bizarre, yeah. I got goosebumps.
If that happened to me, I don't know, I would rationalize it by saying that, yeah, it's just a dream, I ignore it for the rest of my life. I know myself, I wouldn't have done anything.
I feel like maybe it was just something that was like picking at him, like something that wouldn't leave him alone maybe. And like obviously he's a kid, so he's gonna be like, Mom, I dreamed about this. And the mom's obviously gonna be worried, because why is my child dreaming about like a dead body being found somewhere? So I feel like it's like a big part of it is because he's a kid, and also since he's a kid, it's more closer, I guess, to his past life.
I kind of believe that reincarnation is real, because like, you know the feeling we get like deja vu, like every time, like when you're just going on a normal, like your normal routine, and then you suddenly get like a feeling of like you've been here before. So yeah, I feel like it could be real.
I like the idea of it. It sounds nice.
Okay, thank you guys so much for listening to today's podcast. I hope you guys can join us on our next one. Have a good day.